Hey Mishka, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode of Our Life Now Forever, we are going to be continuing with the updated demo recently. If you have not seen the previous episode, go watch that. But yeah, we met Darren, which is Mrs. Murray's kid and stuff. So yeah, from what I remember, he was like leaving to go get someone. I don't even know, but yeah, everyone, before we get started, make sure to subscribe and share this video with your friends so they can find out about my amazing channel just like you have right now. So yeah, let's get to it. I hope you enjoy. Woo! Oh my god. Mrs. Murray was still reading over her teacher stuff, so she didn't put a stop to it, but Darren should have followed them even if no one was watching. Tamarack's focus was set on the action. When that was over, and even Darren's bright white vest couldn't be seen, she snapped her gaze towards Chu. She was eager, ready to learn more about the boy whose name hadn't even been said yet. In school, in friends, and everything, Tamarack wanted answers. You were excited, and their kid, maybe you'd be friends. Chu began to tell you about his friend, even though no one asked anything about him. Your and Tamarack's faces had been enough to get Chu going on it. This kid you're gonna meet isn't like other kids. He's mature. Mature rolled off of Chu's tongue, slowly, importantly, with a fake accent. You didn't know what kind, but when he thought a little longer, Chu much more quickly added some more details. And, not mature, actually, about some stuff. Not everybody likes him, but I do, and you might too. Oh, guess what? He doesn't go to our school or Darren's school. He goes to a totally different one that costs money because it's for rich people. Those are actually real. You figured out what accent Chu had been doing. A wealthy person's accent from one of those movies with millionaires. What? He goes to a private school? Unfair. I'd rather go here. The teachers have to be super strict if the parents are spending all that money for the kids to be there. I'd take Mrs. Murray every year instead of that. I like the school too. Oh my god, ew, what was that? I like this school too. Everyone I like is here, not there. Neither Chu or Tamarack were sure what to say next. You were the same. The three of you glanced from one face to the other, expressions flitted between encouraging smiles and curious peering. Until eventually the door was flung open. Darren hadn't stopped to check if it was okay that time. He had a job to do, and it had been a job well done. Darren wasn't alone. Okay. Hi. Wow, I was gonna say he looks like Chu, but he also doesn't. Their entrance was a funny scene. Behind Darren's striking colors and intense steps was the new boy. The stranger came along unconcerned, dressed in muted tones. His hair almost could have been called black though dark gray was probably more right. He had black pants that didn't match perfectly with the shade on his head. But there was something about him that made a strong impression. Tamarack, Chu, and Darren sued a loss of energy that radiated out all around them. This boy didn't have spirit in his hands or legs or body. His fire was concentrated all on his dark brown eyes. Whatever he looked at came against the total force of his being and made him unignorable. Oh, okay. And that part of him was so noticeable that it took you a minute to see he had a birthmark on his neck. What? And that his smile was actually a smirk. No. Baxter? What? You were not disappointed on who Chu's other friend actually was. This is more intriguing than you'd been imagining. No way, they put him in here? This is where he grew up? What? All your thinking was cut off by a shout from Autumn. Along with that, he punched a fist in the air to welcome his returning companion in the found prince. No, what? Wait, he has dark gray hair. Wait, yeah, didn't he have that, or was it like white too back in Derek's DLC? I don't remember. Oh my god. Oh wow, I'm actually shocked. Yeah, you made it. Darren and the boy he brought had given the impression of opposites when they first came in. What they had in common became clear when they smiled the very same way at the reunion. They both liked each other. They both liked the other one of them, and they both liked Chu. That's all that mattered. God bless it. The two went straight to Hugh's side, Darren on his left and the other on his right. The formation of the trio was perfectly smooth. All of them were already aware where they stood in the group. So this is my friend. He's cool. As long as you tell him when he's being dumb. The boy had been the most collected person you'd seen in town besides your teacher, and Chu just called him dumb as soon as he got there. That was kind of incredible. But Chu didn't mean it in a mean way, and the new arrival hadn't even blinked when Chu said it. They were friends, and the insult expressed as much affection as the hug Chu and Darren shared earlier. Hello? Oh no! Oh my god! What? How? Oh my goodness! I'm telling you, they love their little Easter eggs, but oh wow, this is where Baxter grew up. Okay. Maybe we'll see more of him. Hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Baxter. Baxter greeted him and Tamarack casually. It was effortless for him to say polite words, though they didn't come with a lot of meaning behind them. Darren was 12 and he was tall, taller than all his friends, but you could have believed he wasn't that old until Chu said so. Nobody needed to tell you Baxter was older than you. No one had told you, but you still knew. More than any kid, Baxter reminded you of teenagers, ones who thought they were smarter than not only anyone younger, but adults too. He had that kind of unquestioned confidence. Even the way he stood there looked more grown up than everyone else. That's right. Chu put on his snooty voice again and did a courtesy to show his mock respect to whoever the boy was that he was about to introduce. He is Mr. Baxter Ward, the oldest one out of all of us. That's so cool. Oh my god. God, these 5th graders. Oh my god. You knew it. Meanwhile, Chu dropped the accent because he wasn't talking about Baxter anymore. And this is... Oh god, I hate my flippant name. And this is Mishka Rose and Miss Tamarack Buman. Oh my god. You're a handsome guy! Baxter was really handsome. You didn't like Baxter, right? Hello. One corner of Baxter's mouth was already up. It had always been up, but he lifted the other end too so he could properly smile at you. Hi. Oh, I need a group picture. Oh my god, that was so cute. Tamarack's normal bubbliness popped right after she said hello. Are you actually rich? She said it doubtfully with her hands on her hips and her face tilted intently. It added more to her wondering than what she actually said. What would a rich person be doing there? Shouldn't he be doing something else? Something kids like you and her weren't doing? You tried to imagine what the other thing would be. Maybe sitting at the head of a table longer than this whole room, or dancing in a shiny ballroom wider than your house. Well, yeah, he does that because he's a dancer. Darren's face twisted in the center and tightened around the edges. He wanted to laugh and he wanted to stop himself from doing just that. Yes. Okay. Baxter said he was a rich kid as plainly as if you asked if it was Monday or if he had a hat on his head. He can prove it too. Baxter lives in a huge mansion high on the mountain. He does? He does. Suddenly the table and ballroom of your fantasy felt a little more real. Having the huge mansion come up without him needing to say so curved Baxter's smile more than it already was. He didn't have to brag. His house spoke for itself, or rather the house got Autumn to speak for it, and that was the best brag of them all. If I like the two of you, maybe you'll get to visit. If I like you? Chu's words had shot up in pitch and rang with humor. He threw his hands out in disbelief and had to be careful not to hit one of the multiple people hanging around him. Baxter, you show it to anybody who will come by. Chu knocked Baxter's arm with an elbow, but that was on purpose, a friendly nudge to go along with the rest of his lighthearted jabbing. His smile beaming at Baxter, his eyes dancing over toward you and Tamarack, Chu declared in his stuffiest voice a reply that was, to Chu, a more accurate picture. Please, come see my big cool house! Why would I even have it and no one's gonna see it and think it's big and cool? That's him. Autumn needed a pause to steady himself before he finished what he was talking about. But it is a really cool house. I would show it off if it was mine. Chu had to be honest about his friends and himself, when it was flattering and when it wasn't, and ended his show generously. Baxter said nothing and he didn't laugh. He just glided a knuckle along the edge of his swoopy bangs. The strands curved with the motion, then slipped right back into their normal resting spots. His smirk didn't drop out of place either. With so much not being different, it was easy to tell that his cheeks turned pinker. Aww! Chu had sort of made fun of Baxter, even if it was a joke. Oh my god. Even if it was a joke, if Baxter was gonna blush, you would have thought he was embarrassed because of the teasing. But no matter how you looked at it, nothing about the older kid's expression was shy or uncomfortable. He was as calm as ever, maybe even a little happier than before it happened. Anyway, Baxter's introduction was over. Chu had decided it. Now that everybody's here, I've got something very important to say. Oh, I like this. Oh, they're so cute. Though he said everybody, Chu's attention was squarely on you and Tamarack. There was a pause for dramatic effect as Chu smiled knowingly. Sharky and Tamarack, I hereby invite you to join our club. What? Darren shouted out like Chu just announced he was getting married next week at 10 years old. Not so loud, please. Yeah, Darren. That gentle scolding was way more startling than Darren's yelp. You'd forgotten Mrs. Murray was still at her desk. She was so quiet and so much like a teacher, she'd fit as naturally in a classroom as the whiteboard or globe. Things that were there and should be there, but you didn't think about it. Well, you got a reminder Baxter had never even known. Oh, hello, Mrs. Murray. Nice to see you, Baxter. Darren zipped his lips. He had to settle for silently pinching his brows and pouting. Yeah, Darren, I'm sick of him, honestly. Chu was definitely the leader of the pack. Wasn't going to let his word on this decision be questioned. He folded his arms in disapproval. First his mom, then his friend. Darren wasn't having the best moment. Autumn couldn't stay firm for long, though. Instead, he thought of his club and smiled. Me, Baxter, and Darren are a group. We go all around having fun. We're practically famous in this town. Yeah, me, you, and Baxter do. Quietly, firmly, not yelling, Darren pointed out the members again as if it had meant something. Those are girls. What? Oh my god! So girls can't join your little boys club? Darren's glance flicked to you and then Tamarack for a single second. So it did mean something to him. After all this time with Darren acting so weird with you and Tamarack, you heard why. He was a boy who didn't play with girls. It's a boys club. Darren gestured around the semicircle of kids to bring attention to the boyness of the collection. And how can we be a boys club if we're not all boys? We can pretend. He whined in a whisper, even if you and Tamarack were right there. Darren was trying to keep the conversation between him and Chu alone. Unfortunately, it was Autumn he was talking to, and Chu made extra efforts to include the two of you. He freely giggled at the problem he'd presented. Pfft, Darren, your mom's a teacher, and guess what? Chu gave a little look over his shoulder towards his possible new group mates. His dad? He's also a teacher at a different school. With a slow shake of his head, Chu smugly chided his friend. And you don't know problem solving. Listen, okay, so I'm a boy and it's my club. That means it's a boys' club. What's the issue with that? He didn't get an answer though. Chu didn't expect to. Darren could only gawk as if he had witnessed a magic trick. Oh my god. Chu had taken a black heart card from Darren into his fingerless gloved hand, and when he revealed it again, it had transformed into a red king. You wondered if Chu was a sorcerer all along, and he said he wanted to cover for himself. He had a way with words and with people. You and Tamarack being new there wasn't what gave Chu an advantage. He was like that no matter what. Baxter chuckled, a pleased audience member of the event, and then he shrugged with his hands in his pockets. I don't mind if they tag along as long as they can keep up. Great. Baxter's agreement was given directly, and Chu took Darren's acceptance of his idea as a sure thing, even if he hadn't exactly gotten there yet. He expected you and Tamarack to see it too and put the choice in your hands. That was the only question. So, what do you think? No thanks, I don't want to. What? Tamarack, you gonna leave me alone with them? For all of Chu's feats of conversation wizardry, it was equally amazing how simply Tamarack could defeat them simply by not taking an interest in saying so. That was actually the second time Chu invited her to play with him and his friends. Yesterday she had said maybe, today she said no. Darren suddenly frowned more. He never wanted her, but was offended she didn't want him too. You are like hot and cold, Mr. Darren. What? Baxter only smirked hardy. He already had friends. Being turned away by a stranger didn't make a difference. Aww. Chu was disappointed by Tamarack not considering it, by his friends' unwelcoming attitudes. No one seemed to care like he cared, even when he tried to give his best to get everyone to get along. His expression was happy enough for Tamarack to realize with shock the impact she'd had. Thanks for inviting me. I like you, Chu. I'm not sure I like those other kids. Two bewildered snorts and one laugh followed the attempt at comfort. Baxter was the one who laughed. We should both join the club. Please, Tamarack? Thanks, Sharky. That was all it took to begin turning things around. Chu's smile grew as Baxter shrunk to a friendlier size. Even Tamarack seemed to second-guess her answer now that you were going to be in the fold. That's one new member! And it's alright if you don't want to join Tamarack, but you'll probably regret it for the rest of your life if you don't. It's the coolest club there is. And Sharky, Tamarack, don't listen to Darren. I'm sorry he said that about you being girls in our group and that being bad. Darren's gaze fell guiltily. He didn't finish whatever he was going to say. He may not have wanted you and Tamarack to join, but Chu did. Being the reason it didn't work out was an unintended betrayal of his friendship. Darren does not know how to talk to girls or how to act around them. I think the only ladies he can say 10 words to are his mom and Tamarack's granny. Chu! Autumn tossed his hands up completely unapologetically. You thought of a phrase you heard your mom use before, don't shoot the messenger. I don't know, that's what I noticed, but it doesn't matter anyway. You can't live your life like this. You're a big kid, Darren. What if Tamarack and Sharky look up to you because you're so much older and wiser? Are you even going to be able to say hi to them? I said hi, didn't I? No, you didn't to either of them. I remember that. But she was too close, I know. How about you say hello right now? It's not too late. Yeah. Tamarack was instantly in for that idea. She glanced upwards into Darren's eyes, grinning expectantly and swishing her shoulders side to side. Say hi. It was hard to tell if she didn't realize she was giving Darren a hard time, that it was more to him than a normal hello, or if that was the whole plan. But either way, Darren could do nothing except stare hard at Tamarack's smooth jig. Chu, this is embarrassing. Yeah, it is for you. You can't treat girls like that just because they're girls. Darren groaned through clenched teeth. Chu, Darren, and Tamarack, not one of them are budging. Until a low voice came from the area around Derek. It wasn't actually him, it was behind him. Hello, I think your scarf is so nice, Tamarack. Hello, Mishka, you have such great shoes. What? I love this! Derek couldn't stay quiet for long. His mom had given up on reminding him. I hope you like my earmuffs too. Darren spun around in a flurry and the perpetrator had already breezed back to Chu's other side. Baxter stood there self-satisfied and silent like he had been the whole conversation. He may have not seen it with his own eyes, but Darren knew it was Baxter. He had a pretty distinct voice and it wasn't as if anybody else could have done it. It was a pleasing answer to Tamarack's ears, no matter who said it. She giggled as she toyed with her oh my god, with her nice scarf. Aw, do you really think that? The real Darren turned away uncomfortable and with a face pinker than the accessory in question. Thanks. Baxter, you're hilarious. Baxter continued his statue act. Still, he uncomfortably closed his eyes and as if to say, why, thank you. Darren tucked his head into his vest as much as he could. The main part of his face that you could still see were his eyes, which had gotten huge and gone from defiant to shy and maybe a little hopeful. It reminded you of a baby turtle peeking out of its shell for the first time. You guys, Chu had lost hold of the situation. He viewed it from the outside the same as he might have done while watching toddlers tumble around a playground. You know I don't invite just anybody to the group. That reminder was meant for Darren. He sent an explanation you're in Tamarack's wing next. Before, it was me and Darren since we were babies, and a couple years ago that was Baxter. It's only been the three of us since then until right now. Yeah, it has been, so why do they have to be part of the club? It's good you asked. Sharky broke into my backyard accidentally and took me on a crazy investigation about a paper airplane. And she got here a day ago and she's already looking out for me. Normally I'm the one doing that. And Tamarack was the one who made a paper airplane for a stranger because it would be fun. She's the type of kid who hides for who knows how long in a pile of leaves so she can jump out to spook you. Oop. What's not to like about that? Lastly, the three of us are all neighbors. That's gotta count for something. Even if it doesn't, what were you thinking we'd do? Run away from them when me and you and Baxter are in the cul-de-sac? Try and make Tamarack and Sharky leave their own street? No, we should be friends and hang out together. It makes no sense not to let them join the club. Choose debate speech roused Tamarack. Her fists were clenched and her expression was full of vigor, but you were sure she wasn't inspired to join Choose Club. It strengthened your bond as neighbors and only made her flimsy connection to Darren and Baxter more obvious. Darren wordlessly put extra space between him and the shaking girl. Baxter smiled at Chu, supporting his friend while being totally indifferent to the results of the effort. When it came to yourself, Chu's description of why he thought you should be a member. Made your cheeks hot and your heart beat faster. He was always nice to you. Was he just being nice though, or did he really like you as much as he said? Chu got the sense of his audience mixed reactions. Instead of a full house roaring with applause, it was more like seeing a mostly empty theater with one person clapping in the back row. He worked with it. Well, they haven't been here long, and I know them better than you two guys know them. And the same goes for Sharky and Tamarack. They know me better than either of you. It's different for me. I like all four of you. Tamarack can join later, and you don't have to be an official member to do stuff with us. I'm just letting you know what's up. A lot of things bothered Darren. He showed it. Baxter so far took everything like it was nothing. Chu went up and he went down, but always tried to get back up by the end. That was the boys' club. Chu was still Chu, and Darren was pretty funny. Also, Baxter was kind of mysterious. That was so cool. And now you were mostly part of that club. Chu wanted you to be, you wanted to be, and that was the main deciding factor. No! Oh my god! Oh wow! Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Well, everyone. That was the end of, well, not the end, but for right now, that's the end of the demo. Wow, so we met 2 new characters and Baxter's here, apparently? So, maybe we'll see more of him when this game is fully released? Ooh, oh my god. But yeah, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had the same reaction as me as I did with Baxter, because that was very surprising, honestly. And yeah, everyone, I hope you have been enjoying Our Life Now and Forever for the past year. I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support on this series, my Our Life Beginnings, or my Our Life Beginnings and Always series, and then my other series, whichever ones I'm doing. I should probably start doing them again. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for all the support on this game. I love this game. I love recording it. And yeah, but thank you just so much for all the support in the past year that I have been on YouTube. But yeah, that's all for Our Life Now and Forever right now. So, yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!